This video may come across very last minute, but it's been a rough week, so I still want to pump this video out, but I believe I still have the best 2024 SummerSlam predictions. Starting with number 1, Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. To me, Nia Jax should win this. Words cannot explain my disgust and disappointment with how WWE has utilized Bayley as women's champion. Her reign really honestly has amounted to nothing, which is a load of crap considering the caliber of talent Bayley is. Nia Jax has been killing it as a heel in my opinion, and there is no reason for Nia Jax to not win the championship and be a major tool in putting another women's wrestler over in the future. Number 2, Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. It shouldn't be easy to say it's time for LA Knight to win the US Championship, but it's very easy to say that LA Knight should win the US Championship. Logan Paul is just not at all been much of a champion worth having anyway. Great wrestler, but we need that full-time champion, and LA Knight is the guy. And there's no debating the great things LA Knight could do with that championship. Number 3, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I wasn't a fan of how Braun Breaker lost that Money in the Bank. We got the right outcome, but the way we got it just didn't feel right. Should have ended up with a roll-up or some surprise pin rather than a 3 count. SummerSlam, Braun Breaker he's gonna be crowned, and it's about time. I don't see WWE pinning Braun Breaker twice. Plain and simple, he's amazing, and we know this boy can work his butt off, all right? And I think fans are very much behind Braun Breaker, and he's just elevated to that next level, honestly. Next being number 4, Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. So this one is not so easy and certain to determine realistically, but I did title this video the best predictions video, so it's time to perform. Either guy could win this match, honestly. They are both justifiable, but a decision has to be made. I have Damian Priest win this match, and I know that might be a bit of a shocker, and you might ask why. And it's honestly because Damian Priest and Gunther can run it back at Bash at Berlin. The story that could be told could be so good, with Gunther having to learn to respect Damian Priest as champion and not taking him like a joke, and basically treating him like what he thinks he is, which is street trash. And this could really be a phenomenal feud that could really make Gunther winning truly mean something outside of just quote-unquote being the better wrestler. So for SummerSlam, let's give Damian Priest the win, so when Gunther wins, it's a bigger and better payoff. There's multiple ways to play it off, but I think the best way is to have these guys rematch and have it be something special. Number 5, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the World Heavyweight Championship. Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Liv Morgan has to win this, straight up. This feud is too good to end at SummerSlam. Way too good. Rhea Ripley winning is a bookender, in my opinion. Her winning would just be the end of the feud. We need this feud for more than one match. Liv Morgan needs to win and maybe have Dominic Mysterio help her. Let's keep the feud going, and let's get something amazing out of it. I mean, it's an amazing feud, it's an amazing story, and I think there's a lot that can come of it. So let's keep this feud going because it's honestly just way too good. Number 6, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the WWE Undisputed Championship. If the rumors are true and Roman Reigns is returning, this match goes on last. No doubt about it. This by far is not that hype of a match. And the hype, honestly, is with Roman Reigns returning. Cody Rhodes needs to win this match clean. And honestly, that's the end of that. Let's get Roman Reigns back ASAP Rocky. It'll be the biggest moment of the night, and it'll go down as it could honestly genuinely go down as one of the top 10 biggest returns ever in wrestling. The hype and stock for Roman Reigns right now is easily higher than anyone on SmackDown or Raw. It's pretty huge, okay? And I think it's about time we see Roman Reigns really prove what he can do in terms of his range of his character and prove that he can be the top babyface of the company that Vince McMahon wanted. But Vince McMahon will not get the satisfaction of being the one to have made him and put him over as the company's number one babyface. That credit will go to Triple H, Paul Levesque. But this match itself, by itself, is not that interesting. But Roman Reigns returning gives it a lot of stock and a lot of hype. So I'll give it that. Lastly, we got by far the most interesting match on the entire card and the most fun, and I think the one that is the most interesting. And obviously I'm talking about number 7, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. This match is pure insanity and by far the most anticipated match on the card for SummerSlam 2024. And honestly, one of the biggest matches of the year and in all of professional wrestling right now. This feud is and has been the most unbelievably well done piece of work in wrestling all year round. This match is so unpredictable and hard to determine a winner for, but I love to share my idea of an outcome for the long-term success of this feud. So I'm gonna go the distance on this, so just try to follow me. CM Punk should beat Drew McIntyre. It's about to get interesting from here because now I've got to make this make sense in the long run. So please just follow me on this. CM Punk should not win decisively. I know what some of you guys are saying. Drew needs this win, but no, not yet. Seth Rollins should get hit in the match, whether intentionally or unintentionally. That results in him attacking Drew and Punk, but it isn't a calculated attack. Happens to knock down Drew first, then knock down Punk second. Punk falls on Drew, and then Seth Rollins hesitantly counts the 3. Now, instead of a match between Punk and Drew again, or Punk and Seth, this sets up a grudge match between Seth and Drew at the next pay-per-view. Because, honestly, Drew would obviously feel screwed. From there, whoever wins will fight CM Punk at Bad Blood. Drew should beat Seth. So Drew and Punk can have their final match at Bad Blood and maybe Hell in a Cell. And in that match, Drew finally beats and almost destroys CM Punk. But not without the help of Seth Rollins, aiding Drew McIntyre one time in the match that cost CM Punk the win. This, to me, perfectly finally sets up Seth Rollins to inevitably fight CM Punk. They could have easily wrote this any other way. I'm sure that there's maybe better ways to write this story between Seth Rollins and CM Punk eventually when it gets to that point. But this was, to me, the best way to write it, to make it an easy transition and a smooth transition. But, with this, and, you have the Bad Blood match, the Hell in a Cell match with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, they could easily write CM Punk off TV with an injury and have Seth Rollins work the fake injury. Because obviously I would want it to be a fake injury, obviously. I don't want CM Punk genuinely injured. But it would work so well. And kayfabe, CM Punk being injured would be such good ammo for Seth Rollins. He could egg CM Punk on. It could be a whole thing that can get drawn out long enough to where we can eventually get this match at WrestleMania, where it should have happened last year at WrestleMania 40. Or not last year yet, technically, but you know what I mean. But the goal is to get this feud, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, to transition into Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. And I think this is the best way to go about it. And it's got to be done methodically. It's got to be done with care, and it's got to be done with detail. But this is my views and thoughts on how this entire story should play out. But it's just one card. It's one match on a full list, a full card of matches that are just phenomenal and packed with amazing content, amazing story, and amazing potential in regards to the future. So that's my thoughts for the predictions of what's going to happen at SummerSlam, and I'm genuinely excited.